Train the muscles, not the joints.
Yeah, I just have to set this up here. I like using the barbell more so, and I've talked about this before, but I like to use the barbell because it's a straight bar across, so it just feels right to me. I don't really like the knurling, the knurled bar up there because it's a little bit too wide for me. I like to use a little bit of a narrow grip, narrower than that chin-up bar anyway. Okay. Okay, here I am. Can you see me? Yeah, can you see me? Yeah. Here I am, just gonna do some chins. I do 5 sets. It's not one of those movements where I am looking to bring my chin over the bar. Now, a lot of people ask me, why don't you use underhand grip? Now, the reason why is because when I was back in the day training for competitions and stuff, I was a really delt and arm heavy bodybuilder, as far as like my delts would respond to much better things, or much easier exercises. I get better delts, right? Sorry, my words, where are the words is that, right? And then of course I get a lot of bicep development from chins. Now, one of the main reasons why I got great bicep development was that I was trying to bring myself up and stay vertical, bring my chin over the bar, right? So I was getting great arm development from it, great shoulder development, but my back was lacking. But once I started to lean back and isolate just the lats more, sure, my body didn't travel up as high, but I got way more lat development and my back started to develop quite a bit. Now, the other thing is that people don't realize is that with a dislocating shoulder, right, here's the ball and socket and here's the labrum. When my lat is pulling, see this is my elbow, right? So the lat is pulling, right? When I'm pulling, my labrum will slip out a little bit up like this. So when I'm in a fully contracted position in the lat, my body won't travel up as high because the shoulder's popped up a bit, you see? So how far my body's traveling is not going to give you a good idea of what's really happening in the shoulder joint as well as what's going on with the lats. So that's another thing that people, it's just too hard for me to explain to them in the comments, but that's one of the reasons why also when I'm training back, it might not look like I'm doing as much range of motion and going all the way up and down and so forth. So yeah, just forgive me for that. Allow me to be human, and then you can allow yourself to be human a bit, and then still get results through the process, right? And still be a mountain in your own right, you know? So that's the whole point of this whole journey, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. So, and the reason why I pose like an idiot, I keep telling you guys this, but just in case any of you are new here, the reason why I pose like an idiot or I do certain things is because that's kind of the name of the game. Like, people don't listen to anything you have to say unless you show them your muscles first. And I understand that. You have to establish some sort of credibility. But aside from me just kind of showing them all my trophies all the time, like, it's the only thing I can do. So anyway, just bear with me as I'm an idiot on the internet here. Okay, feels good, yeah, that's good. So yeah, that's set number 1. And then usually I play a video game in between on my video game unit there. If you guys want a video game unit like I have, I'll put a link in the description, and you just use the coupon code MOUNTAIN and you'll get a few bucks off or whatever. You want to order one for yourself or for your home gym. But I highly recommend it because there's lots of times that I'm thinking about doing a second workout in a day, like just a small workout, and just the thought of, hey, I'm gonna try to, you know, get past a certain level in Donkey Kong Jr. or something. It gets me into the garage, do a couple sets, do a little bit of filming, and then play a game in between, right? So yeah, sometimes you have to use little tricks to motivate yourself. Sometimes you'll be motivated automatically, right? Because you've already looked at your magazines or, your favorite guy on YouTube. Not mentioning any names or anything, But if you're struggling with motivation for periods of time, you can create other carrots for yourself, right? Other carrots at the end of the stick. I used to do, like in high school when I was 15, when I was no longer, or at least that day, I wasn't visualizing killing one of the bullies that I was dealing with or beating the shit out of them. Days that I would be struggling, I'm like, oh, I'm so tired, I don't feel like going in the garage. Then I'd hear the music playing, like say my brother goes in there and he'd play like some sort of 80s metal or some sort of Def Leppard or whatever it was, right? Or Poison or Kiss or whatever, right? Rock music. And then I'd get kind of motivated from the music, and then I would get into the gym. I'd get past that discomfort, right? So, you have to do these things sometimes, right? Because it's easy to get motivated on days that you're motivated, but days that you're not motivated is where you get the results. So you got to kind of play the game that way. Feels good. Oh yeah. What do you think? Hey? Huh? You guys get motivated? Huh? How about you? You get motivated? Yeah? You? Yeah? Well, this one's still going. Okay. So these guys over here are a little quiet. Guys over here are pretty good. Guys over there, not very motivated, I could tell. But here, pretty good. Yeah. So that's set number 2. All right, let's go to set number 3. I'm just gonna do 5 sets of back, 5 sets of pull downs, or pull-ups, sorry. I call them pull downs. You know why? Because when you're really big, you pull everything down. Whole everything, right? When you're small, it's a pull-up because you pull yourself up. But when you're big, you just pull everything down, That's why I don't, there's a saying, reach for the stars, reach for the sky and you'll achieve, something. If I reached for the sky and pulled it down, we wouldn't have an earth anymore, So I just can't afford to do that to you guys. I think it's pretty inconsiderate. So don't worry, I'm not gonna pull the sky down. So yeah, so I'm gonna do my pull downs and then yeah, get a big biggity back. See, sometimes a little hang at the end. A little hang at the end helps get those less. They did a study, I guess, on birds where they pinned their wings up and they hung them. I know it's really cruel, but they did a study and their pec muscles actually got bigger from it. So my brother told me about that a long time ago. So yeah, there is something to be said for just the stretch and holding in a stretch position. Some guys experience this with farmer carries for their traps because they're holding on to weight, it's in a stretch position, they're just walking. So there's some trap involvement from that. So yeah. The other thing I'm gonna say is the last couple of days I switched from instant oats, like there's no flavoring or anything in it, but there's instant oats and they take only a couple minutes to cook, right? Where I went to rolled oats and you notice like rolled oats is way more substance. So of course this is pretty obvious probably to most of you, but rolled oats, because they're less processed, have a lower glycemic index. So if you're looking to burn body fat, sometimes that 8 points or whatever it is on the glycemic index can make a difference. Because I think the quick oats are like 68 or 70, and then rolled oats are like 62 on the glycemic index scale. So you're gonna have less of a blood sugar response from rolled oats. That said though, after a workout, the higher the glycemic index, the better apparently, right? If you just have a workout and then you eat something like white rice or, huge meal of carbs and stuff, with protein of course, but you have a higher glycemic carb, it apparently helps shuttle more glycogen into the muscles and doesn't cause you to have any sort of fat issues from it. But throughout the day, you want to have, as much as possible, choices that are lower glycemic, and then you're going to notice that the more pumpy and lumpy look happens because you're constantly feeding the body. And this is another thing I'm going to get into right now. This is another fit tip. This is another tip that matters. This is a big fucking one, okay? So just listen. The body is about survival. We know that. Muscles are a luxury. We also know that. So you have to say the muscles are helping survival in order for the body to justify getting you to put on muscle. Now, how do you do this? Well, you prove constantly that there is enough food in the environment to feed that extra metabolic liability, right? The more muscle you have, the faster metabolism. So if you're always starving it and then eating and then starving it and eating, your body's going to feel less safe in putting on a higher metabolism. So that's one of the main things. So lower glycemic index, that's a common thing that's accepted, okay? This is accepted in all the fitness community. When you have lower glycemic carbs as a mainstay, your body tends to be healthier with putting on muscle, shuttling in nutrients and so forth, not having a sort of glycemic insensitivity, or insulin insensitivity. So your body responds and uses insulin more effectively, which is really important for an anabolic sort of response or a recovery response. So that said, lower glycemic carbs, when you eat lower glycemic, all that is a fancy way of saying that the body gets little bits all the time from that food source instead of everything all at once and then nothing. So it's another graduation from starvation. It's another step to constant feeding of the body. So instead of you having to go to the lunch table every single time, the body's just absorbing slowly and just giving your body what it needs as it needs it. So lower glycemic is better for the most part with your protein source. One more, and then we'll be done the back portion of this, and then I will do another video on biceps, a live video on biceps, okay? So that way you guys don't feel like you're missing out, like Jason's training his biceps sneaky, nobody knows about it. It's like a secret thing he's doing. So yeah, those are there's like 4 or 5 good tips today, right? That you got. And I'm just gonna sneak all these in as I realize them on deeper levels. And at the same time, get in a live workout so you guys have, some theory and some practicality going together. I think it makes a good combination. But yeah, if you have any ideas what you want to see on the channel, please, by all means, just put it in the description or the comments and let me know what you want to see. And if you're a Patreon supporter, definitely your opinions take priority, right? So I'll definitely look at what you're saying first and foremost. And at the same time, I've got the podcast coming up, and podcast is every week on Natural Gallant Bodybuilding on Patreon. So if you want to go there, the link is in the description. It's only $5 a month, and I talk about a lot of things about training, what I'm doing, why I'm doing it, what's working, what's not working, everything from injury stuff to techniques and different types of form that I'm noticing. Subtle things, right? Subtle things like incline bench. When you're doing incline bench with dumbbells, if you push straight up or push a little bit to the eyes, you're going to get a little bit more pec development from that in some cases. So I noticed that. So I talk about a play-by-play of what I'm doing and what I'm realizing on a deeper level. This is like it's only for people with depth. So if you don't have any depth, don't go there. If you're not interested in the deeper concepts of bodybuilding or life, don't go there, because you'll be severely disappointed if you just want to have a shallow sort of experience. Yes, the last 2 sucked, but that's on purpose. I wanted them to suck. I just wanted to go a little bit deeper into failure, right? So that's another way that you can push deeper, is that when you can't do a full rep, you start doing some partials just to get that extra burn and extra intensity. Mountain. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this live workout. It wasn't a super long one, but it was a good one, and that's what's important. And yeah, if you want to see more of these, just make sure you leave a comment and let me know. And otherwise, I'll see you in the next video.